Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. How are you guys on this fine day? Hello, everyone. How are you guys on this fine day? Hello, everyone. All right, so let's see. How are you guys Let's see on what the this poll fine says. Day? Most people want Labyrinth Zone. Okay, let's do Labyrinth Zone. All right, so let's see. I already have GameMaker open, so let me just make sure that it's visible in the stream. Okay, here we are. I haven't actually worked on this for like ever since last stream, so hopefully that's not terrible. Labyrinth Zone. Let's look at it and see how much. So as you can see, I pretty much have most of the layout pretty much put in, and this level, besides, is pretty much easy. The only thing that's difficult about it is some of the tiles I couldn't find in the when I was getting the tiles for this. Not all of them were available, so I had to make do and flip some of them. And also some of them don't have proper collision masks, which basically means when Sonic goes onto one of them, it doesn't work correctly. I'm gonna fit, and that's mainly the ones with water on them, because when I was getting them from Spriter's Resources, they had water on them, and I didn't know what to do, so I just simply didn't touch them. But today we're going to fix that, and hopefully um, make sure it looks good. All right, so where to start? Where to start? Oh yeah, let me take that text down. Let me turn it off because we don't need it that much. Because I'm talking now, and that's a lot more efficient, and I don't have to stop what I'm doing just so I can type in what I'm gonna say, because I can just say it. You're gonna hear me going and a lot because I don't talk a lot. I'm not good at talking, but still, I'm gonna try and make do with this, and I'm gonna do it as best as I can, and hopefully you guys aren't disappointed. All right, so first things first, let's just go ahead and see what we need to work on first. Let's just run it. And also maybe see if there's anything I need to fix. Since this is basically a recreation of the Sonic 1 Labyrinth 3 zone, um, there are a few difficulties I'm going to have with making this level. I know I said earlier it's going to be easy, but then I just looked at it and I remembered, oh yeah, there's a few complicated things. Okay, let me turn that down. I'm sorry, was that loud? I hope that wasn't loud. Okay. Nice. I need to get rid of that. I forgot to get rid of that in the last release. You're probably wondering what that is. So you know how there's a parallax scrolling, basically the background in the title screen? Um, before I realized that the title screen doesn't stay up forever, I was trying to get it to loop correctly. So, because if you waited long enough on it before I decided to just make it fade out at the end, you could see like it would start like going off the screen correctly, or it would look very weird. Um, and that was basically me working on fixing that. But now that I realized that I just have to, I don't need to worry about that. That makes things easier. Because the way backgrounds are set up in this engine is they don't like it's in a weird way, but basically it makes a bunch of backgrounds on the level rather in because mainly they were made for levels because the original version of this engine had a still image as the background for the title screen. And obviously that's not going to cut it in this game because this game is about immersion, isn't it? Oh yeah, we're playing a Sonic, so I don't need to change that. And as you can see, the level select's different. It used to be like the normal Sonic level select, but for some this is a bug actually. It's not supposed to show this until after Tails is dead or saved, whatever. Basically, once the game's revealed its true form, and I'm gonna fix that later. But I think right now, since it's still in early access, this is fine because one, it makes navigation of the level select a lot easier because there's less levels to go through. And also because everything's properly labeled so you don't guess which actual level is assigned to which Sonic 1 level. You can just have it kind of like this. Of course, Green Cell Zone doesn't really change depending. It would be a cool effect if you could change if I could like change it to say Hill Zone if you're on stage 2 or stage 3. But that's not important right now, is it? Alright, enough wasting time. Let's go into Labyrinth Zone. Which, okay, there's one thing. It uses Green Hill music, and it uses the Emerald Hill background. Another thing that I haven't fixed yet, and I'm still trying to figure out is, if you stay in this kind of position, or in a certain position, wait, is it? Okay, so what used to happen was, or maybe it's still happening now, I'm just not doing it right, where if you collided with a certain part, yep, there it is. It doesn't recognize it properly, and it does this thing where it makes Sonic do that. I'm trying to fix that. Anyway, sorry. Let's see. So this is where I'm going to fix this because you know it's supposed to look animated. But and that's actually simple. All you have to do is simply make it change colors. And as you know, this is a solid tile. You can't stay on the solid tile. You can't stand on. You can't go through them. Oh, you can on this one though. And I kind of got surprised, but I actually managed to get vertical scrolling to work. But for some reason, I can't go up and down. So I didn't think it was gonna actually be this easy, but I actually got vertical moving to work. Another thing is, besides that isn't supposed to happen. The collision for one of these tiles was incorrect. See, look. It actually uses the collision data for this particular tile. And oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me turn the volume down. Alright. Does this sound better? Can you hear me? Because I want to make sure you guys can hear me, otherwise a lot of the things I'm saying aren't going to really make sense later. Alright. Okay. Back to business. Anyways, basically, collision maps, collision data. God, I can't talk. Collision data is not perfect. It could be much better. Like for example, here I think it uses the one for this particular tile. Sometimes if you jump at a certain point, like this, it'll send Sonic in a weird direction, and I think that might be a faulty of the engine itself. And I'm gonna try. I know there's a workaround, but I don't want to use it yet because this stage isn't even finished. But I'll find a way to. Yeah, this engine is. It's easy to work with in some areas and hard to work with in others, especially since like this was made in an old engine, which it's made in Game Maker Studio, and which is an older version of the thing I use now, which is Game Maker Studio 2. And since then, a lot of things have changed in Game Maker Studio, which basically made some of the things that this engine used to work really well with doesn't work very well anymore. So I'm guessing that's why it's weird. But let's go ahead and look at everything else. Obviously, water's turned off, so. And also, the other thing I'm going to work on is Sonic EXE, like chasing you through the level. I'm going to work on that first and then make the dimension change. Since most of everything I need is put into place, this isn't going to be too difficult. So let's go ahead and start on working on that. Alright, first things first. I know I keep saying that, but it's just, I'm not good at talking. I wish I was. Well, let's turn on the water, because I want to show off what that looks like. Which, by the way, tells me, I need to change the water texture, because it's not the correct color. The one that came with this one is actually like a blue, a special kind of blue, which I'm going to show you. And to turn on water is actually very easy, and I like it this way. Basically, anywhere in the level, you just put the water, you put this object right here, anywhere, and ignore this. This was my lazy attempt at adding lava to the Tails doll stage, which I'll explain later. To add water, you just simply put this down, and depending on what its Y position is, the water will be higher or lower. So let's just, where does the water, it usually comes like when you get into this area, it's usually like at, I think it's this height. So let's move it up there. And the way since water doesn't like appear until you get into this area, I'm going to have it like programmed to add the water when you get into this area. Which, by the way, I don't actually know why I have this here. Let me I think I need to remove that actually, because I don't think that's supposed to be there. Let me go ahead and look at the level layout in the. Let me go ahead and look at the level layout for Labyrinth Zone real quick. Right, this will take a few moments because there might be. I'm pretty sure there's not a tile there, but in case I'm wrong, I want to make sure that it's actually supposed to be there. Oh yeah, it does add it there. So basically, okay, that makes sense. Oh, I understand now. Okay, so I just remembered. There is a tile here, but you have to hit a switch somewhere. Let me figure out where. You have to hit a switch. Okay, there it is. You have to hit a switch. Let me look at it. You have to hit a switch. I keep saying I have to hit a switch to make this go away, and then after you reach like a certain area, you'll hear a noise, and then when you go back, you'll be trapped in, and then the water will be there. That's not gonna take too much trouble to add, but it'll still take a little bit of trouble to add. It takes some effort, but not too much. Alright, let's find the switch. Because, I know where it is, I know where it is. I still need to organize everything. I don't know, I haven't organized everything yet. It's in Marble Zone. And we have a switch. Let me see what the one in... It's different color. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and put the switch down. Obviously, it's not going to look like this. I'm going to change it to have its proper colors. But for right now, this is what it's going to look like. I think I know what I'm going to do now. Since you need to get like to a certain position to make this appear. I'm going to make a new tile that uh it'll deactivate itself when it starts, and then it'll reactivate itself when it comes back. So that's interesting because I'm looking at the map and there's tiles that weren't on the sprite sheet for the labyrinth tiles. So I'm just gonna work with this, and then of course I'll change it later. Wait a minute. Is that right? No, it's not right. No, it's right. All right. Sorry, am I talking too much? And because I tend to ramble a lot. All right. So, simple thing. Simple thing. You touch switch. When you touch switch, tells this tile to go away, and then I'll have a thing. Let me go in here. We'll just put it for here right now because I think that's generally where you can't see it anymore. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna tell this tile to come back, and it's also gonna create water. Actually, no. It's gonna, yeah, it is gonna tell the tile to come back. Or actually, I'll just have two different ones: one that creates water, and the other that puts the tile back. It'll also make a noise. So let's just set this up real quick. So what this means is that, well, I have actually, let me, I can't remember the type. All right, so it's called trigger type. Anyways, what this is gonna do is this tells it, this variable says, okay, which way are we gonna detect it? Is it gonna turn on when the player is beyond this X position, or is it gonna turn on when they are past this Y position, or is it gonna be both? Uh, is it gonna be when they're past both this X position and past this Y position? And since we want it to be both, we're gonna go ahead and gonna set it to 0 because 0 basically says both because it doesn't have a preference. X positive basically says if the player is in front of this thing, if it's behind it, you would set this to false. And then one of the quirks with, or not a quirk, but something weird about Game Maker is that when it does Y positions, Y counts from 0 and when it goes down, that means Y is positive, and then when Y goes up, it's negative. So it's a weird thing, but it's fine. It's ultimately doesn't make too much of a difference. It just throws you off sometimes. Throws me off. So now that we have told it when to trigger it, now we need to tell it what to do when it's triggered. So what we're gonna do is, I'm pretty sure it's event. Yeah, it's event type. We're just gonna say, change switch. And then I'm gonna have to add like a way for it to handle that because I haven't actually done this part yet. But yeah, change switch. Actually, you know what? If I do end up, I can't make two because then it's gonna be weird unless I put the second one for the water underneath this. Because if I were to put it before this one, the player could like go down and trigger the first one, but not the second one, and then come out, and then there will be water where there shouldn't be water. But yeah, I could just tie it to a switch or whatever. Anyways, so change switch, and then this is basically the first variable of this event. And we're just going to say 0 because we haven't actually defined any switches. And we're just going to go ahead and tie it to this one. Okay, so now that that's done, we're gonna make a copy of this tile that only disappears if global, or if the first switch is off or on, off. Uh, yeah, a lot of people like to use um, what is it called? Fusion based engines, because it's better, it's like easier to use than uh, it's coding. It's not code. It's not text based code. It's like visual based code, and for a lot of people that helps. That's a lot easier to use. And I've heard that the fusion based engines, like not so simple Sonic Worlds, other things like that. I think Sonic Retro might have been, but I'm probably wrong about that. Um, I've yeah, this engine's like it's complex, but it also can be easy in a way, because like each engine has its own advantages and disadvantages. But I like using this engine. And yeah. Anyways, back to what we were doing. So we're gonna go ahead and make a copy of this tile that disappears when it switches on. So what is it? Labyrinth. And which tile is this? We'll change it later. Oh, it's in object. Yeah, that's wait. Okay, that ain't good. Cause yeah, that's not good. Wait. No, it is good. Alright. Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing. Alright, ignore that. Disregard that. Anyways, we got this tile. We don't need that. Object Labyrinth Zone tile 04. So this is the fourth object tile for Labyrinth Zone. So that means it's going to be in here. And it's just flipped. So we're going to make a copy of this one called switch. And later down the line, I'll probably make a more like I'll probably make it easier to make tiles like this so you don't have to code it each time. But for right now, for this particular tile, we're gonna go ahead.
Big money said steamcommunity.com.
Oh, sorry about that. Ignore that. That's one of my friend's servers. I was clicked on by accident. All right. Anyways, so I need to turn text to speech chat off. Anyways, we're not going to override. We're going to inherit this, which basically means we're going to take it and then also do this other thing too. And just to make things easy and not too complicated, we're just going to simply say switch var 0. This is going to be the default thing, so that this is going to be the switch that needs to be turned on. And basically when the global switch variable is turned on with this ID or this number, it's gonna not appear. And it's not gonna work. Okay. This might be a little more complicated than I thought, because the way collisions work is I can't just turn it off. I have to deactivate it, which would require an outside source to reactivate it, and I don't want to do too much of that. Or we can just simply say we have two options. Either have this thing turn it back on, or I can also just have an outside source, like the thing that handles switches, turn it off. Let's go with that second option, because that's going to be a lot easier. No, that's not gonna be easier. Sorry, I'm just thinking of I'm just trying to make sure that I don't waste too much time on this one thing. But then they'll end up doing that anyway. You know what? Let's just see if it even would even work. So first, um, let's just go ahead and say if this if it's true, oh yeah, let's make sure, because we don't want this to, we're gonna play a noise when it's on, but we don't want it to change, like, we don't want it to, we don't want it to play the noise like several hundred times, so switched equals false, which will basically say, has it switched yet? And if it's not, uh, don't ever put semicolons. You don't put on another thing when you're copying and pasting stuff in GameMaker language. You don't put semicolons after things if you're copying and pasting it like from a variable. Otherwise, that's gonna give an error. Yeah, unless you're like defining something like like this. This will work. If you put a semicolon in an if statement, it's not gonna work. It's gonna give you errors, and nobody likes errors. Alright, so what's gonna happen now is switch is equal to 2, so this isn't gonna run again until it's changed back to false at some other time. And then I still need to replace the music engine. But this is basically, why did I bring the music engine up anyways? Oh yeah, because when you type in this, you can either do background music or all SFX, but this is not a GameMaker thing. This is a Sonic Max engine thing. Don't try it in an actual GameMaker language. But basically what this does is it plays a sound effect. I keep randomly. My ramblings aren't too annoying, are they? I'm sorry if they're a little annoying. Sound, and then what we want is we want appropriate sound effects. Let's just go ahead and use we'll just use the ring sound effect because you know. And then we put this false here to set, and then this false here is basically just to say, hey, is this gonna loop? And then you would put false if you don't want it to loop, or true if you want it to loop. And we don't want it to loop, so I'm just gonna do that. And then just to make sure, use this thing. It's actually just to copy this. You just set it to ID, and all right, basically we go here. No, that's not what I want. Oh, I forgot to turn on the music. I forgot to turn on the music. I'm sorry. Let me turn them on. I had a playlist for music and I forgot to turn it on. I'm sorry. Okay, let me turn it on. Uh, let's just do this one. Let's just do this one. Okay, is this okay? Is this okay? Is this me? All right. Hopefully it is. All right. Back to what we were doing. ID. We're gonna set it to 0. And then what that's gonna do is it's gonna do this. And then what this is gonna do, so let's go ahead and add a handler for change switch because this doesn't actually do anything yet. So we're gonna go ahead and in here. And there's things to do like fade out the music and play the music. But now we need. Also, any programmers watching, yes, I know I should probably be using Switch cases, Switch stuff, but And I probably will, but I like using if else statements because of the curly brackets. But I will definitely change it in the future. So we're gonna do change switch, and this one's gonna be simple. Basically, all we need to do. This will basically toggle it. If it's on, this will turn it off. If this is off, it will turn it on. And then this is going to destroy it. Because after it, if it's not triggered, it's not going to, none of this is going to run. Else, everything's going to run, and then it's going to destroy itself in the end. But anyways. So that should work. But ultimately, the only way to know for sure is that we need to check it and test it. So, alright, guys. It's probably gonna break. That's the thing, is when something, like, when you do something like you haven't actually like tested before, most of the time you're gonna think it's gonna break when you become a good programmer, because generally when you try new things, error is most likely gonna happen. Not like an actual error, but like something's gonna go wrong. And that's why you gotta be ready for it. Alright, I'm gonna turn the music off. Oh, and it's almost finished anyways, so let's just let it play out real quick. It's already been like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I'm surprised. Oh, and it's over. Okay, wait, can you guys see everything? Yes, you can. Okay, just making sure. Oh, I forgot to turn on debug mode. Oh well, that's fine. That was odd. I saw title text. I assume that's. Oh yeah, that's probably just my Y. That's just my Y, so ignore that. I forgot to turn that off. Oh yeah, you can't play you can't go through that level correctly without debug mode. So let's make sure we turn that on this time. Okay. Okay, so it's turned on. Is it? Nope, it's still there. Oh, but the water's here. Anyways, oh yeah, I forgot to explain this earlier. Notice how the water, it's blue and it's not like flashing back and forth. It also seems to cover the HUD. I'm not sure if it did that in the original. I'm gonna check. And also notice how these bubbles are like Sonic 3 styled. And there are also no badniks. Which I'm gonna fix soon. And also just palettes don't change correctly. Oh, and notice Sonic's sprites aren't correct. It changes to a Sonic 2 palette. I can easily fix that, but just alright. Would have probably stopped the stream at around 10-ish. Maybe just 5 because I don't want to stay here too long and waste your time. This could have been a lot more. I'm sorry this wasn't like too much, but alright. Oh yeah, that's why I didn't disappear, because I told it to play a noise. Alright, let's just go ahead and pretend that we did want it to destroy itself. Let's go ahead and delete it. This is gonna destroy it. Okay. Will this work? Let's see. Okay. There. Alright, let's see. Will it work? Alright. So here we can obviously that it's still there. Now let's turn the switch on. I need to make a proper collision. Should be gone now. It is not gone. Okay. So obviously this happened last stream where something didn't go right. First we need to figure out if the switch is even turning on. So let's see. How about this? We're gonna probably like change his color and see if it even like works. Wait. Right, so switch is false, and it's still false here. Switch var is 0, and it's supposed to be. Let's just set it to C red. If it's if global switch. Oh, I almost misspelled that. You can't misspell anything in this. Is equal to true. Actually, you know what? You don't need to put equals true because then I'll just say. Because ultimately, it just looks for if this entire thing is true, and I just put equals true because it makes more sense, and generally that's how you do it in other languages. You can't just I don't think you can just put it as this, or maybe you can, but it's more organized when you do it with equals true. Only if you're trying to save space or something, that's when you don't do it. C blue. So it'll be blue most of the time, and then when I turn the switch on, it should be red. And this will ultimately tell us if it's changing to the right color. Kind of quiet in chat. Alright. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see if it's the correct color at all. Image blend does not seem to work. Okay, when that usually happens, let's just go ahead and make it draw some text instead. Yes. And then I'll have it say no. Alright. I keep saying, I really hope I'm not annoying you guys by repeating the same things over and over. Because generally, I don't talk to people with my voice very much. Well, I mean I do, but like, not to people that like aren't family or close or friends IRL. Okay. Let's see. It should work. It should tell us if it's on or off. Must be blocked by this. So let's just go ahead and oh, maybe wait. Is this Hang on. Of course. This wasn't even the right thing. Guys, this happens a lot where you do some things and then you do so many things to make sure that you see something's wrong and then it turns out you made the biggest mistake. That happens a lot in programming where you do so many where it happens to me where I'll run into a problem and I'm think like, oh, it must be this, and it turns out I didn't do something simple. I didn't do the thing I was going to do. This happens a lot when you get sidetracked, because like I get sidetracked a lot. Did I close it? Why did I close it? I just got sidetracked again. I was talking. I was busy talking and I forgot that, and I ended up closing it for some reason. But yeah, this thing. I'm not sure if it happens to other programmers, but for me, I'll make these mistakes where I'll like I'll be working hard to fix this issue, and then I go, wait a minute, what about this? And then, oh my gosh, it turns out it was the whole reason it wasn't working was because actually I forgot to do this one simple thing. Alright, guys. Still isn't drawing any text, but it should actually work if I... Yep, there we go. And it works! Guys, it works! We figured it out! Yeah, we figured it out! Okay. Then what's gonna happen next is... we go back here, we go in here, the water's gonna come, and this thing will come back. So what we need to do is we need to deactivate it, and we need to find a way to get it to stay. We need to find a way for it to like not go away, or like to make it stop doing anything and like being an object, but at the same time, like stay there. Oh, and I just realized, um, okay, what was I saying? Okay, we need to make this come back. First off, we need to find a way to turn it. I could use the solid, but like, okay, how about this? We're gonna make an extreme change, okay? We're gonna make an extreme change. But first, let me just test something. Uh, Stir Sprite. I'm still learning things, mind you. I still don't know everything there is to know about Sprite, Game Maker. Okay, sorry about that. Had to talk to someone, but we're back. Anyways, I don't think that's an option. So maybe wait. One more thing. Let me just check. Oh, good. Okay. Um, that's that's interesting. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give train. Oh, you probably noticed that. we're gonna give it one more variable, and that is solid. Basically, we're gonna need to make some changes, but ultimately, wait. There's two other hacky options, actually. One thing we can do is, let's just go ahead and do, just make solid a thing. And then hopefully this doesn't, like, create too many issues. No, it's going to, so. You know what? I'm just gonna have to do this the non-flexible way, as I like to call it. And we're gonna have to actually we can okay. Because I don't want to do things that, like, will be super hacky and stuff. But at the same time, I want to make sure that this is, like, works and stuff. You know what? Let's just go ahead and leave it alone for right now. Instead, what we're going to do, we're going to have a create water. And what layer does water go in? It's just water. Alright. And then water. And then later on we can, like, change it to be, like, if there already is water, it won't do it again. It'll just move it or something. Alright, object water. There we go. We're gonna delete the water we already have. Wait, it's on the wrong layer. Where is it? Oh, that explains it. It's on the wrong layer. That's why I was going underneath the HUD. Anyways, we're gonna make some water. What do we usually do? Put it. We're just gonna put it at, like, around this, like 1944. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we've made the water. Now we're gonna test it and see if it works. Let's hope this works and does not give too many problems. Alright. And I forgot, I turned the music off and didn't put it back on again. I should probably, like, write something that starts the music and then just pauses it if it's, like, the game's on or something. Alright. Then input the right code, so. Hang on a sec. Oh my god. The mic was muted the entire almost the entire time. I'm sorry. Uh that was not intentional. Gotta stay on top of these things. Anyways, sorry for the. Alright, so we got the switch. Let's just see if anything works. Maybe. Oh, what we could do is maybe we can have it create the object. That's interesting. Let's do that. Oh, and it works. Guys, it works. Right, so let's see, what level does it put it at? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so oh, that makes so much sense. Okay. Oh, and there's a switch. Okay, another one. But all right, so that's nice. But it's supposed to be lower, and then later on, when they reach a certain point, it's gonna be higher. Oh, oh. The music for drowning activates even if you're in debug mode. Could I die if I like in debug mode and still drown? This is why the music system needs to be rewritten. Alright. Oh, what? Oh. Oh wait. Wait a minute. Why didn't I lose a life? Well, I discovered some more bugs I need to fix. Oh, oh, that's great. That's grand. Water drowning is broken. The music system is broken. There's so many things broken I need to fix, and I didn't realize it till now. Well, I guess that's a good thing. It's still in early access, and I haven't actually like made it. That's why you put things in early access, because until like it's absolutely finished. Because one, it tells people, hey, this game could be buggy, and because people would be on me, like if it didn't say early access, they would be like, this game sucks. There's so many bugs, and that would not be good. And that's why we have the term early access. Hey guys, you can play this game early, but you got to make sure that there's bugs, and you got to be aware of them. So okay, let's. What time is it? It's 5. Um, I really don't think I'm gonna be able to do that much more, cause I mean, obviously, technically I can, but like, I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to keep your guys' interest, cause it's just gonna be me like kind of quietly like trying to fix things, and obviously commentating on stuff doesn't really do much. It, cause I feel like my commentary might not be that interesting, cause usually when I'm, discussing what I'm doing, I get really technical. And a lot of people don't like listening to technical stuff. So, um, is there anything else I can show you guys before the 10 minutes are up? Oh yeah, there is. So you remember the Tails doll boss and how a few people noticed that it's kind of based or kind of reminds them, or just in general, it feels like Tails' Nightmare. Remember that? Well, I was thinking, if it's like Tails' Nightmare, and that game's the Flash is pretty much dying in 2020, so that means Tails' Nightmare will probably. Yeah, I mean, it might be. It will probably still be playable because people will still have access to Flash. But like, for one thing, uh, Blocks, is that his name? Isn't gonna be able to make games anymore because Flash was the only thing. I figured I could at least, because like generally every browser is gonna stop supporting Flash, and then that means people won't be able to play it anymore. So I figured that we could at least have sort of a reference or sort of miniature playable version of it by me recreating it in Darkest Struggles. Obviously, it's not completely finished, but if you compare it, I actually got I decompiled the original game, and no, it's not illegal, so don't worry about that. Uh, and I got the level layout, and I sort of put it together, and then made it an image, and I slowly started making tiles based directly on top of the original layout. And so far, this is what I've gotten. I thought it'd be cool because it's a nice game, and I don't want people to completely forget about it. I want people to still have some kind of version. So I figured maybe make a classic Sonic version of it. Of course, I'm gonna probably need his permission to put it up, but I still figured it'd be cool to at least try and make as a sort of tribute in case, you know, honestly, I'm not the best at explaining things, but you know what I mean, don't you? It doesn't work that much, but I'll still show it to you anyways. And for some reason, Tails stall does not work in anymore. Like, cause I'll show you in a minute what I mean. And as you can see, not every single object has been placed down correctly, like the doors and some of the rings. But I figured that it'd be cool to have a classic Sonic version of Tails Nightmare, so this is kind of something like that. And of course, it still uses. Oh wait, what am I doing? First, let's switch our character to Tails, and then let's go ahead and hop into Hill Zone Act 3, or just Hell Act 3. And as you can see, for some reason the background's scaled down even more than it should be. Because in this version, you can. Oh wait, yeah. See, it's more scaled down for some reason. Probably Game Maker's doing because it downscales everything. Because you have this life monitor. Still need to fix that, but at least before life monitors would play music, but I turned that off, so that's at least a good thing. And don't have this tile done. Oh, and this thing doesn't have collision yet. Oh. Why did I make collision? Oh yeah, cause I like a few moments before the last stream, actually, and I'm maybe even a little bit afterwards. I was working on this, and it looks kind of. It was. I forgot to add collision for everything, but most of everything has collision. And anyways, like I said, Tails doll does not seem to. Wait. Probably not working because. Okay, I'm gonna need to adjust some of the things are broken, aren't they? I need to fix them. Anyways, like I said, Tailsall is like doesn't work at all. And here's why. He doesn't do anything, and I think that's probably because since I moved him away from his original position, uh, the area that triggers the boss battle to happen is probably in an off somewhere weird area. So I could probably trigger it if I went to the right area. And if I remember correctly, the area is probably like in this area. So if I go back, it'll probably be. Or maybe no, it won't, because technically, when he's off the screen, he stops doing anything, including responding to the trigger for his boss battle to start. I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I really, I had fun, and I hope my voice didn't throw too many people off. Um, and now you know what I sound like. So hopefully that doesn't, you know, send any wrong messages or anything. In case if it does, I don't know why it would, but I know people's voices tend to generally have influences on people's opinion of that person. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I hope you guys had fun, and maybe we can make this, like I said before, we can make this like a weekendly thing. And I'm gonna keep trying to, I'm gonna start working on things, and maybe next weekend I'll have a much better version of You Can't Run's boss, but I cannot make any promises, but I will definitely make an attempt at sort of making version, and I'm gonna try and communicate with the team a little better, and hopefully, I mean, Jordan's pretty much been pretty good at helping me out, but the others, um, I haven't really been talking to them that much about things I need, and sometimes I have, but I must have asked at the wrong time because usually they don't respond. Um, but definitely, I will definitely try and get some kind of You Can't Run progress done, and it should be good, adequate. Hopefully, it'll entertain you guys, or not entertain you, but maybe we'll work on it next stream, and I'll feel a lot more comfortable working on it because I'll have more of it done, enough so I have a flow of what to do. This is Nathan, also known as Flexico Dev, and I hope you had a good time on the stream. See you guys. Bye.